Hi and Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 2 and today is our turn to present, and we hope that you guys will enjoy and understand why we should study organizational behavior. This slide is presented by Amalia and Farhana. As we know, behavior is generally predictable, so why we need to study organizational behavior? We must know what is organizational behavior first. So organizational behavior is the study of the way people interact within groups. Normally, this study is applied in an attempt to create more efficient business organizations. Plus, organizational behavior is the study of human behavior in an organizational settings, the interface between human behavior and the organizations and the organization itself. Now, we already know what is organizational behavior, right? Let's move on to why we really need to study organizational behavior.
Firstly, according to Mercure 2006, organizational behavior draws heavily from behavioral and social science, and most importantly from psychology itself. It studies the interrelation between an individual and an organization on the following levels: individual, interpersonal, group, and lastly, organization. In general, if we agree that the strong leaders in an effective collaborative environment are the key for successful implementation of a strategy, then studying an individual is really how deep we have to go to understand what is going on in an organization. We can know everything about the environment. We map the internal resources and competitive position. We may even have a winning strategy, but if we do not have the right managers and leaders to execute on the strategy, we will fail. In short, people are key. Secondly, according to Casey Reader 2010, different organizational structures will show different types of organizations that each has strengths and weaknesses. There are four main elements, which are motivation, culture, change, and system. According to motivation, it draws that individuals behave differently when they are in groups. Major of the study of the organizational behavior has aimed on how best to motivate a group of individuals. Professionals have figured that it often doesn't matter exactly what you do, but merely that employees are aware of your efforts to motivate. Based on culture, when individuals communicate with one another over an extended period of time, they intentionally deliver a selective culture that determines how tasks get completed and common attitudes. Organizational theories tend to practice this culture and how it influences behavior. Strong cultures align with the overall goals of an organization, such as having an emphasis on innovation. On the other hand, weak cultures degrade from business goals and cause conflicts, such as overemphasizing bureaucratic rule following. But today, motivation and culture are important to practice with organizational behavior because major organizations are encouraging team approach to solve difficulties. Today's post-industrial high-tech organization requires knowledge-intensive work environment and demands creativity from its own. Next, 3.1 Practical Applications. The development of a personal leadership style can be guided by knowledge of the results of the studies that have attempted to relate leadership style to situational requirements. The choice of a problem-solving strategy or the selection of an appropriate employee appraisal format can be influenced by additional knowledge of the results of studies in the associated topic areas. Particularly in the area of performance improvement, there are numerous benefits to be gained by applying the knowledge that has been gathered in the field of organizational behavior. Attracting and developing talented individuals are two critically important issues to the survival and prosperity of an undertaking. Emphasis on the human element often distinguishes the most successful ones when it comes to organizational performance. This occurs because all serious competitors in a given industry are likely to have nearly the same level of technical sophistication. Thus, other input factors being equal, organizations that have talented and dedicated employees tend to be more effective. Consequently, we can argue that the most important element to an organization's welfare and the most neglected because of its less tangible nature is the human behavioral element. As an illustration of how crucial the human element is to organizational success, consider the various professional sports teams. All of them have the same equipment and facilities like a stadium, trainers, practice facilities, and equipment. Further, Each team has the same number of members and essentially the same structure. Therefore, what differs one team from another is largely traceable to the human element, which are the talent and efforts of the players and coaches, the ability of managers to develop their player skills and competences, and the ability of the coaches and players to motivate themselves to high levels of accomplishment. We move on to 3.2, personal growth. The second reason for studying organizational behavior is the personal fulfillment we gain from understanding our fellow humans. Understanding others may also lead to greater self-knowledge and self-insight. Such personal growth is an aspect of education that is often cited as the greatest benefit of studying the liberal arts and science. Some may question the practical value of this feature in the business world, but it can, in fact, make a difference when it comes to advancing beyond an entry-level position. In summary, knowledge of organizational behavior may not be a union card that helps you to be hired, but it will be invaluable to you once you have that first job and seek advancement. 3.3. Increase knowledge. The third goal of organizational behavior is to gather knowledge about people in work settings. At a minimum, the field aims to gather knowledge for its own sake. As evidenced by the progress of many pure science fields, such as physics, space research, and chemistry, the practical use of certain findings may not be apparent for years. A similar process occurs in the field of organizational behavior. Although some organizational behavior findings may not have yet practical applications, they are undoubtedly valuable additions to human knowledge. As a manager, the teaching of OB can significantly increase one's personal sensibilities and outlook on these attributes by 4.1. Working with people from different cultures. What might seem motivating to a manager might not appeal to his workforce at all, or a manager's style of communication may be straightforward, but the workforce may find it threatening and uncomfortable. As a manager, one must learn how to adapt his managerial style to their cultural, geographic, and religious disparities. 4.2. Workforce diversity. Organizations are increasingly becoming a more heterogeneous mix of people in terms of gender, race, age, ethnicity, and sexual orientation. No longer can these disparities and cliches be ignored. These people are in the real world educated and ready to work. So, managers must recognize the fact that they don't live their lifestyles, cultural values, and perception at home. So, we as managers must learn to accommodate this diverse group of people by addressing their different lifestyle, family needs, and work styles. 4.3. Customer service. Many an organization has failed because its employees fail to please its customers. Management needs to create a customer-responsive culture. Organizational behavior can provide considerable guidance in helping managers create such cultures in which employees are friendlier and cautious, accessible, knowledgeable, and prompt in responding to customer needs in order to please the patron. Finally, last but not least, ethics. Today's manager needs to create an ethically healthy climate for his employees, where they can work productively and confront a minimum level of uncertainty regarding what constitutes right and wrong behavior. Organizational behavior is the path to understanding how elements of the workplace fall into place. As a nascent manager, one can develop the self with the help of these learnings and partake in managerial roles confidently. Thank you for watching and feel free to ask us any questions. Thank you.